Hey, what's up everyone? Igor here. Welcome back to these video sessions where I share the golden nuggets of wisdom, of knowledge, of experience, which I got throughout my life and which I learned from others, from the mentors, from the seminars, from the courses, from all different and possible sources of knowledge. Now it's time to give back, and that's what I do. So today's video is kind of the part 2 video of the previous one which I made about the decisions. The topic of decisions, I think it is very important in our life because it's the beginning of the results, right? We make a decision, we take the massive action, and then we get to the results. So decision process is very important, and at some point of my life I started to study the decision itself, like what is decision, how the decisions are being formed in our mind and all related things to that. Some fun facts which I learned. First of all, it is better to make decisions in the mornings. You are better off to make them in the mornings. Why? The reason is because a lot of different hormones started to be activated in our bodies after the sleep, right? Some of them is, for example, serotonin. It's the hormone which actually calms our brain down, right? And another one is dopamine, which kind of makes us happy, makes us more energetic and active. So in this state, we kind of in this peak energy state, as I call them. And in this peak energy state, you would be better off to make the decisions. On the other hand, it's not good to make decisions when you are hungry. You see, the way your body works is when you're hungry, the body strives for the reward. The body is looking for reward, whether it's food or something else. It's just in the mode of getting rewarded. So if you have a decision at the same time to make, you might make a decision which would reward you short term, right away, right now, because your body wants to get the reward. The body is hungry, and you might get this selection of yours which might not be very rational, let's put it that way. Another way I learned about the decision is that it's better to make a decision when you are kind of in harmony with yourself, in control with yourself. I would even still put it that way. And the funny thing is, when we are in control of our body and mind, we are in control of our body and mind when we want to pee. Yes, you heard me right. Then we want to pee, we hold it in, we're like super concentrated, we think, we hold ourselves, we are in control of ourselves. And apparently during this time, if we would make any decisions, the most likely that decision would be very rational and very precise. So yeah, a lot of things I learned about decisions, and it was fascinating to me. And that's why I have figured out one of the most important things in order to make the best and good decisions. The first one, as I said, there is the method of quantifying your decisions, just to pull all emotions out. That's what I covered in previous videos. In this video, I want to cover the second part, which is the framework. I use the framework and build the system around myself in order to make the better decisions. And before I explain those frameworks and why they're so important, I want to start of reminding you, and you probably heard a lot of stories and interviews about this topic. And I'm talking about Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs. As you know, they used to wear like the turtleneck in case of the Steve Jobs and the gray colored t-shirt in case of Mark Zuckerberg. So they've been all the time trolled about it and asked about it. And they both actually answer it similarly on the reason why do they do that. You see, the thing is that they say during the day they need to make very many and at the same time super important decisions for their companies, and decision-making process, apparently it's a very brain power consuming process. We use a lot of brain power and internal body energy to make a decision. So knowing that, Steve and Mark, they want to make sure they eliminate the decision-making process about the very little things which are not that important in their lives. And for them, it is clothing. they don't think they need to make a decision of what to wear in the morning, because it's gonna steal a little bit of that energy, of that brain power, which they need to make more significant and more important decisions. And I think it explains it all. So why do I use the framework? I use the frameworks in order to pull out all those little things which I need to make decisions about. And as a result, I would be leaving myself with the opportunity to actually work on those important and very significant decisions. And I'll give you an example of my frameworks. They're very simple. You've heard of them. And I'm sure you are doing those same things, but I'm going to give you the different perspective on why do you need those frameworks. And obviously the framework can help in other different areas of your life, not only for making a decision, but for this video's sake, I am kind of talking with the perspective of decision and frameworks process, right? So the framework for me is how do I, and what is the framework, by the way? The framework is the process of which consists of particular steps which you do all the time, all over again, multiple times to achieve the same results, right? And for me, it's just for example, daily planning, weekly planning, monthly planning, annual planning, routines. I built the framework around it. Let's say on Friday, in the morning, because I know in the morning I'm better off making better decisions because of the reasons I just explained, right? So in the morning on Friday, I'm trying to plan out the whole next week for myself. And yes, at this time when I'm doing it, I'm making a lot of decisions, but I concentrate them in this one small little time slot where I plan. And I have this system in place where I get all those assignments, those tasks, those things which I want to do. And I have them in different places, obviously, but I have the system, how do I compile them all in one list? I have then a system, how do I prioritize them? I know what kind of questions to ask in order to figure out these priorities. And I then take them out, the most important ones, and I spread them out for the next week and I plan them. As a result, in the end of it, I have the calendar full of events. I know what kind of event I'm going to be performing, I know at which time I'm going to be performing, and I know for how long that event is going to be. So as soon as I come at work on Monday, I don't decide and think what should I do. I just look at my calendar and I just start executing anything what I put in that calendar, because I know it's been created through the framework and the system which I have in place, and that system works for me, so I trust it. You see here, I eliminated a lot of decisions throughout my day of what should I do next, how long should it be, how important is it, and things like that. And obviously I also have the evening routine where I replan next day, but this is the whole different story, but also the framework working there. And I eliminate myself of making little decisions next day because those decisions have been already made in one particular time slot here. Another example of making semi-automated decision using the system of framework is, for example, how do you process your inbox, your emails? We get all of us get a lot of emails, and the efficiency, the productivity which we process those emails with, depends on how do we also make decisions and whether we have the framework in place. For me, I have different rules for that. First of all, the first rule is if my email comes into the inbox, my goal is to empty the inbox, not to do everything which is in those emails, right? So then I click on email, I ask myself, hey, what is that? Is that information or something actionable? If it's that information, I just delete it, or read it and delete it, or I just put it in information folder for later if I want to, keep it there. The second question, is it actionable? Well, if it's actionable, who should do it? Am I the only one who can do it, or someone else can do it? If someone else can do it, I just delegate it, I forward that email to that person, and I put that email in the folder to be checked later on and checked whether that person got that message and start doing those actionable things. If that thing is for me, I ask another question. I ask, hell, can I do that thing right away, right now, within 2-5 minutes? If yes, I just do it right now and I delete that email or I just put it in a different folder and the inbox becomes empty. If it will take me more than 5 minutes to do, I ask myself, should I do it today? Should I do it this week? Or should I do it next week? Based on those answers, I know where to put this email. And that email will be put in the folder or in the system, which is the part of that system I use on Fridays to overlook everything what I need to be done and what I need to pay attention to plan my next week. So the frameworks actually crossing each other and overlapping with each other, and that way the whole system is being built around me, and as a result I can make concentrated decisions and I can make little decisions in the little time slots, and that gives me the opportunity to free up my energy, to free up my brain power to actually make very important and significant decisions in my life. All right, guys, that's not enough out of me. I hope this decision-making process and this topic was interesting to you. I wish you better decision-making and talk to you in another videos. Peace out.